if I could do whatever I wanted, I had all the financial freedom in terms of I could fly anywhere, I could buy whatever clothes, I could eat whatever food, because money doesn't exist and I can just click my fingers and I have it. And we live in a world, in a magical world like that. If we pretend that we're in that world right now and that there's no money or anything like that, what would I do? If you're watching this and you're thinking of something that you want to do and you have your own fears, then this is someone telling you it's fucking worth it. What's up, guys? I'm gonna make a video and I actually have no fucking idea what this video is gonna be. But so I just feel like there's a video coming, so we're gonna find out together. So yeah, actually I want to talk about how I've recently started doing what I really want to do, what I've been wanting to do. And I want to talk about how fucking good it feels. Like, making these videos is something that I'm actually not sure how to put it into words. I love doing this so much. And I know that there's other people out there like me who probably know what they want to do, or at least have an idea. And this is not, it's been a month since I've been doing this. I started the channel before, but then I stopped, and then like a month ago, I really started. And this was on my mind for, or this type of thing. YouTube was not necessarily something that I was like, man, like, I'm 9 years old and I'm gonna do fucking YouTube. But now that I'm doing it, man, there's birds doing their thing. Now that I'm doing YouTube, I'm like, I really see how this is just, it fits. And so in this video, I'd love for you to come away from it and be like, man, I really, really want to find what fits. And at least, if I don't find it right away, I want to endeavor to find what fits. I want to figure out what could potentially fit. Because what I see is a world where so many of us are doing things that don't fit us. And I would love for you to come out of this video and be like, I really want to find the thing that I'm like, oh, I have no doubt that this is for me. Not the thing that I'm like, yeah, well, I'm doing it because, you know, like, it pays well and it does this and da-da-da. Like, not the thing that you where you explain the benefits of it by saying because or but the activity you explain where the other benefits like money and whatever it is are on top of. So the type of thing where you would be like, yeah, I do that. And then if you mention the other stuff, you'd be like, yeah, on top of it, it means I get to do that. On top of it, it means I get to do this. On top of it, blah, blah, blah. But if we say, yeah, I want to do, or I'm doing this, yeah, well, you know, it pays well, and like I have friends in the company and I've been doing it for 12 years and it's often more of a justification, like we're justifying why we're doing it. And when we're saying, if you think of an activity now that you just fucking love, I don't know, it could be like table tennis, for example, something like that. I fucking love table tennis. But so yeah, like for example, when I'm playing table tennis, I'm not thinking, yeah, I'm doing table tennis because it's really good for the hand-eye coordination, and for ADHD people, it's very good to do this type of movement because it stimulates the whatever part of the brain that's good to stimulate for ADHD. So therefore, because of that, I'm going to start doing table tennis. ADHD, man, there's birds. I do think on top of it, when I do table tennis, I'm training my hand-eye coordination. I'm doing this stuff which is good for ADHD people, etc. I think of that, but I don't go think, all right, so, you know, I want this and that, and then I'm going to form an activity based on the benefits, which is in my opinion, the way that we often go about selecting activities. We think, okay, I want this, I want that, and let me make an activity out of it. You know, like I want a job that pays well. I want to be able to do this and that. Let me make an activity out of it. Oh, and this activity kind of somewhat fits, so let me do that. And then when people ask me about it, and in my heart, deep down, I know that this is not what I want to do, I bring out those reasons or kind of justifications, I'd say, and be like, yeah, but it pays well, you know, it pays well, blah, 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 and it somewhat fits. I'm just going to take this off because it is hot. So, yeah, so we often make the activity based on the ingredients. It's like we're making a cake. It's like we're making a cake, basically. We're like, I want flour, I want eggs, I want sugar. Okay, and then, oh, I got a cake. Yeah, and do you love cakes? Well, it has flour in it, and it has eggs and sugar, you know, so yeah, it's nice. Whereas deep down, what you want is, you want pancakes, let's say. Is that the same ingredients? I'm not sure, I think so. But let's say you really fucking love pancakes. Cakes are nice, you enjoy cakes, but you fucking love pancakes. And since you weren't thinking about what do I really want? Since that was not the question, but you were thinking of the ingredients and you put together the dish based on those ingredients, the result is you're getting something you kind of like, and then it's justified by the fact that it has most of the ingredients you wanted. But if instead you're like, what do I love? You're like, man, I fucking love eating pancakes. Then you're like, okay, great, I love eating pancakes. Let's start from what I know I love, what I would eat if the ingredients were irrelevant. What I would eat, what I would do if money didn't exist. If I could do whatever I wanted, I had all the financial freedom in terms of I could fly anywhere, I could buy whatever clothes, I could eat whatever food, because money doesn't exist and I can just click my fingers and I have it, and we live in a magical world like that. If we pretend that we're in that world right now and that there's no money or anything like that, what would I do? And if you start with that and you're like, okay, so what do I love to do? And let me just go straight there. What do I love to do? Like a child, if you will. What do I love to do? Not because as adults we think very like rationally and or irrationally a lot of the times, but it's the foundation of the foundation which is guiding our behavior is logic. And whilst logic can be very obviously very powerful and useful for obvious reasons, at the same time, I would assert that in order to guide your life, logic is often not the best thing, because what the heart wants is often contradicts logic. It's often something that logic would not agree with. There are often many reasons for which it might not be a good idea to do what you truly want. And those reasons are often based on scarcity. And we're conditioned to think in scarcity. We're conditioned to think in terms of limitation. And so considering that we're conditioned to think in limitation, if we are allowing the foundation of the guidance of our behavior and trajectory in life to be our thinking and our logic, then you can guess where it's going to lead us, to a life of scarcity and limitation, because that's what we've been conditioned. Whereas the heart doesn't know anything about that. The heart is immune, if you like, to that, because it doesn't think in terms of logic, and so it's not thinking in terms of scarcity or limitation. And so really what we want to do is, or what I would invite you to do is think in terms of like a child, because as you know, who is happier? A child on average. Like, you pick out a child and an adult, who's happier? The fucking child, right? Easily. How much money would you bet on that? You select a random child, random 5-year-old child, random adult. You got to put money on that. How confident would you feel putting money on the fact that the child's happier? And there's many reasons why you could say, like, yeah, the child's happier because he doesn't have worries, life's hard, and he doesn't realize that yet. As an adult, you have all these responsibilities. Fair enough. Those are all, you could say those are reasonable reasons. And at the same time, I would say more that the true core reason for which a child is happier than an adult on average is because a child lives from the heart. A child doesn't live from all these from logic. It doesn't think like that. It just does what it wants. It's like, I want to go play. Let's go play. And it's spontaneous. It does what it wants. And so I think that our lives would become a lot more magical, a lot more playful, a lot more enjoyable if we started learning from children and realizing that actually in some ways we are ahead of children, if you want to think it in terms of that. In some ways, adults are ahead in terms of children, and in some important ways, we are behind. And we should actually humble ourselves and look to children and see what we can learn from them, because their quality of life is objectively better than ours. so like, it makes me think also, like, what is success, right? I don't want to go on. I will bring it back to the cakes, I promise. But just quickly, what is success? Because success is something that I think we all want, and at the same time, there are many. Success is very. It's not like saying we live on planet Earth. Like, that's a fact. Success, to say someone is successful, is not pointing to a precise thing. It's pointing to a precise thing according to someone else's association with that word success. But success in itself, like, what is success? Because if success has been behind the scenes guiding our behavior of, I want to be successful, which for pretty much all people it's going to be in society, then it would be wise, I'd say, to think, well, what is success to me? Because until I audit the meaning of that word to me, and I become aware of it, I'm going to be guided by something that I'm not necessarily wanting to be guided by. And so what I meant about children is that in some really important, and I would say the most important way, children are extremely successful. Children are the Fortune 500 CEOs of success, I would say. Why? Because they're happy, because they are enjoying their life. and what is success? I'd say it's to enjoy your time here, more than it is to build a Fortune 500 company. Not that that's not something you want to do, not that that's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but it's also not a good thing. It's just a thing. Maybe it's something that resonates with you, and maybe it's not. But often we think that success is that. Success is climbing the career ladder. Success is becoming managing director. That success is becoming regional director. But that's not necessarily success. I would say success ought to be much more, ought to be understood and thought of, conceptualized much more holistically. And then to think, well, what are the components of success? And I'd say the central one is enjoyment. What are you here for on earth? What are you here to do? When you're 97, what perspective are you going to have? Are you going to think like, oh man, like made it to fucking regional director? Like that guy I was competing with, Bill, fucking didn't get it. I got it. You know, like so many people were in my, you know, were reporting to me. I had power, I had status. When I met people at a bar and they asked, what do you do? I was like, I'm managing director of this company. And I didn't think you're going to think like that. I think all that stuff's going to wash away, and you're going to be like, oh, did I enjoy my life? Because it's going to end. And it's going to end anyway, right? And just often we think of that when we're 97 or however old. But this is a finite experience. What are we here for? I would say we're here to enjoy it, to do what we really want. And so to bring it back to the cake and the pancakes, often we think of the ingredients because we're thinking logically. And I'd invite you to not think logically. I'd invite you to just think, what do you love to do? What do you love to do spontaneously? That you love to do that thing. Not because of whatever, not because it's cool, not because it'll make you money, not because your friend Fred likes it too. Like, what do you love to do? If you pretend that you're back to your child self and you're thinking in terms of that innocent kind of way of thinking, what do you love to do? What would you do if you had €1 billion or $1 billion? You don't need to worry about money for the rest of your life. What do you love to do? What's your thing? What's your dish? Is it pancakes? I'm gonna get you hungry throughout this video. You can be like, man, like that was a good video, but I'm fucking hungry now. I'm gonna get some pancakes. So what is your dish? Is it pancakes? Is it cakes? What is it? Doesn't have to be food either. But like, what is the thing? Go directly to what you love to do. And then you can use logic to calculate, okay, so I love to do that. But actually you don't, I mean, yeah, you can use it. So instead of being guided by your logic, be guided by the heart and use your logic to go to where your heart wants to go. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I wanted to kind of report that, man, it feels so damn good to do it. And I was living in fear. I was making it about me. And I was thinking, what if I'm judged? Which I always was going to be anyway. But I was thinking, I don't want to be judged. And what if I'm ridiculed? And I was letting that get in the way of me doing what I want. And so if you're watching this and you're thinking of something that you want to do and you have your own fears, then this is someone telling you it's fucking worth it. It's really worth it.